In this video, I want to talk about a video player or a multimedia player that can be used in Linux or Ubuntu and Ubuntu Mate or any of the Ubuntu derivatives, and the multimedia player is called Bomi. I was recently looking for a fix for the VLC multimedia player that comes by default installed in Ubuntu Mate because when I play it in the full screen and I hover across the bottom to press the pause button or to turn the volume up, I have trouble getting that to pop up the graphical user interface. I have to move it around a lot or sometimes click on the video in order for it to appear. So I was looking for a solution to fix that, and while I was doing it, I found other multimedia players that I installed and I like just as good, if not better, than VLC. So I thought, well, I'll make a video showing these. And the first one I want to show is a multimedia player called Bomi. Now, there's a website that goes into all the features in detail, so I'm not going to bore you with everything on the website. Now, as you can see, there's what it's going to look like after I install it. Now, if you look on here, there's no really a way to go through here and install it using the terminal. If you go over here, it shows you how you can go and download it when you match your Linux package. So since I do have Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate, I could go here and it shows me the instructions, but I have the instructions laid out with images so that if you're using Ubuntu for the first time or you're a beginner, I have the illustrated steps illustrated just step by step on how to install it. So I'm going to start up here at the top. And I'm not going to read all that what it is. It's very similar to a multimedia player. I'm going to copy the PPA that I'm going to add. I'm going to open up my terminal. And I'm going to paste this in my terminal. It'll take a few moments after I press the enter key, put my password. It would take a few moments for this to add this to my PPA, to my repository. Press the enter key. And while it's doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about the program. All right, as you can see, this is the steps for installing. When you first install it, it will add a little icon to your system tray up here. So I have the illustrated steps for removing that so that when you close it, by default, when you close it, it really doesn't close it down in the background. And I'll show you that. So let me update my repositories. Okay, while the repositories are updating, I'm not going to scroll down anymore because I want to keep an eye on this so I won't waste any of your time. But I will have the next thing on the clipboard while it's doing that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to enter here, I've updated my repository, so now I'm going to actually install the program. Now, I'm not going to change the default program just yet. I do have other section on here how to change your default programs. I'm going to use the VLC as my main default video player. Eventually I may switch, but my goal is to find a solution for why that it's not appearing every time I hover across the bottom. Now I'm ready to exit my terminal. Alright, now I'm going to minimize. Well, let me show you first. After this installs, the first thing you want to do when you run it, when you close it, you're going to notice it stays up in your system tray. And I'm going to show you how that you can change that. So when you close it, I'm going to untick or uncheck the window rather than quit when closed. And I'll show you that now. Go to my applications, go to sound and video, click on the Bomi icon. And as you notice, when I first load it, it's going to add an icon to my system tray, and so if I were to close this, it gives me a little warning. It says system tray icon. Bomi is running when the system tray when the window is closed. You can change the behavior of this in the preferences. If you want it to exit Bomi, please use the exit menu. I'm going to put don't display or do not display this message again. Now the way I'm going to do this is I'll go back to my applications. I'm going to click back on the program. Well, should be running in the background. I should have clicked on the icon, but it'll do the same thing. It'll close out one of them after it starts. I might have slowed it down by doing this. But now I'm ready to right click on the window and it brings up your menu. I'm going to go to my tools, scroll down to preferences and click on preferences. And when I do that, it will open up a dialog box or a window. Here's my preference dialog box. Make sure that my application is selected, and under System Tray, where it says Show System Tray Icon, if you want to see the icon, that's your option. I do. That way when things are running, I like to see what's running by looking up in my System Tray. But here's the part I want to uncheck. Hide the window rather than quit when closed. By default, when you hit the close button, it's not closing. It's just hiding the window in the background. It's not minimized down here at the bottom until you start to run it again. Then you'll see it's down here. But it's still running in the background using your resources. So if you're on an old laptop like I am, you don't want to use resources that are unnecessary. So when I close it, I want it to be closed. I don't want it running in the background. So I uncheck that and I hit the OK button. So when I close it now, it disappears from the System Tray. Now, I'm going to open up my Caja File Manager, go to my Videos folder, and I have two videos here. I'll go ahead and select this one over here. It's very short. They're both short. I'm going to open it up with my program. It loads up here. I'm going to turn my volume down. Let me kind of maximize it a little bit. Turn my volume down so I'm not competing with the sound of here. Now, as you can see, I can go in full screen mode, and now in full screen mode, it'll disappear. And I'm playing in full screen mode, and if I were to turn the volume up, I could listen to that. It's very clear, and as you can see, it immediately pops up, unlike the VLC that I currently have installed, allowing me to turn my volume up and down. To pause, I can advance to the next video in that folder. Go back, I can bring up a menu, and I have the list of video files in that folder. And there's a lot of features that I can do, and I can even right click on here and I've got a full menu, just like the little menu bar that you would have access to in VLC player. This allows you to right click so that you're not using up your real estate within your video player. So this makes it look very simple, but it's not as simple as it looks. You have lots and lots of features within, and I'm not going to double click on it. Like I said, I have to right click because I don't have it set as default. If I were to change my default program, it would be at the top. But at the time I click on it, it loads and it's clear. It's very, very clear. So this is on my website. This is the steps for installing the Bomi Multimedia Player. I do have how to change the options. I may eventually go through and show you more options on here, but for the sake of this video, I just showed you how to install it and how to run it and disable the icon in the System Tray. So if you're looking for a good multimedia player on Linux, you might want to try to give Bomi a try. And like I said, if you don't like Bomi, I have the instructions for removing it from your system so that it don't stay on your system and just use up wasted space. Hopefully this has been beneficial to you, and have a great day.